We're finally getting to chapter 1 of the mission for Earth with this episode of Storytime with Sue. And as I told you before, I'm leaving this unedited. I am not taking out the mistakes I made or the stuttering or the jokes. In fact, I like to keep it in there on purpose. And editing takes a lot of time, but it's not supposed to be too, it's supposed to be organic and authentic. So here we go. Chapter 1 is The King Awakens. During this human life, my name is John Mendez. I live an ordinary human experience on the surface, yet I always sensed that something about me was different, even though I didn't understand it at the time. I got my nickname, Smarty, because I was often a smartass in my early years, along with my high IQ, and I've tried to live well and never cause harm. The lessons of compassion, forgiveness, respect, and love come naturally to me as I move through life. Throughout all of it, I've always heard a helpful voice in my mind, a voice I followed long before I knew who it was. I knew early on that I was different and thought differently. I was born extremely intelligent, and Daddy protected and guided me even then. Everything became clear around 2016 when he appeared to me and he said he was Source and my father and revealed my identity as Sananda Galactic. That was when I understood who I am and why I am here. Here's how it happened. One day, that voice finally introduced itself. It said it was Source and was my father. My reaction was blunt, and I asked, "Who the fuck are you?" Hope you're not listening, Mom, as I've never heard of Source. That moment became my official introduction to Daddy. Until then, I had followed the voice without knowing its source. After that, other voices tried to mislead me or pull me away from Daddy, but none of that worked. I was cautious, and my first response was to question who he was and what he wanted. At that point, I was already eliminating entities, and I even asked if I needed to take him out as well. I demanded proof of who he claimed to be. From there, he showed me and explained everything, who he is, who I am, and what my purpose is. Daddy is a name I use because our dialogue is close, constant, and loving. He is the ultimate authority and the one behind every mission. My team and I operate under source directives, his direct orders. Source directives is another word for God's plan. I ask him each morning for what needs to be done and wait for his approval. I follow his instructions carefully all day long. It's only been a few years since that meeting, but together we have brought rapid change to Earth. After recognizing who he is, I stepped into my identity as King John Smarty. A lot of people call me King Smarty, and soon they'll be calling me Sananda Galactic. I'm still in a human body, yet now I'm fully aware of my mission and how it functions. Beyond this form, I have a galactic body called Sananda Galactic, which I use throughout the universe. In that body, my title is Supreme Commander. I am the oldest soul in existence. My soul, my consciousness, was formed over 550 billion with a B years ago. I spent a few million years alone with Daddy before he started creating more beings in the universe. B, my second in command now, was also created billions of years ago. Like me, he was formed by Daddy rather than birthed by an entity. Everyone throughout the universe knows me as Sananda Galactic and sees me in that body. Those on Earth will be seeing our true appearance soon. As you know, all galactic and most historic knowledge on Earth has been suppressed, so it may come as a shock when only a few of my ships uncloak and the people see me in my galactic form. If we uncloaked every ship, people would certainly panic, as there are so many waiting up there right now. I have duplicated myself about 100 times across the universe, allowing me to operate in multiple places at once. My abilities are what people might call supernatural, by location, remote viewing, great strength, and more. Everything shown in movies or achieved through advanced technology, I can do naturally. I don't need technology. I'm inherently able to do everything without technology, like many of the other extraterrestrials use. Technology only duplicates our natural abilities. I often leave my physical body to handle matters elsewhere, doing it so quickly that no one would notice the moment I depart. Time works differently out there, so I can live an entire lifetime somewhere else and return here in an instant. There are thousands of different races and types of beings living in our universe, and my guess is thousands is a low number. When I command armadas of angels, they move throughout the universe to assist wherever they are needed. An armada of angels is no joke. There are thousands of angels, usually with specific missions to seek out and eliminate darkness. If an angelic being fails or refuses to carry out its command, it's demoted or eliminated, and that has happened. Angels are energetic beings and can be tempted. We've unfortunately had to demote angels when they don't do their jobs. There are also female angels working on the teams. I've incarnated on Earth so many times, and one of the most famous incarnations was the one everyone knows as Jesus or Yeshua. I was on Earth 19,000 years ago, not 2,000 years, as people have been taught. I was crucified on a tree, but I escaped and lived in France with my wife and family. Much of the biblical narrative was distorted to control the populations. I still retain the memories from that lifetime, including the purpose behind it all, to show people that they had the same inner power and capabilities that I did. And he's showing us again, isn't he? That love is the greatest power. During that lifetime, I planted a lot of seeds for what we're doing here now on Earth. In this life, people see me as King Smarty, but everything I do now is rooted in my real identity as Sananda Galactic and my direct connection to Daddy. My abilities come from what I truly am. I can manipulate energy, space, time, and matter. I'm super fast and can appear anywhere in any form. Right now, I have the ability to instantly manifest things through command. I see this reality like a computer system, and I can enforce or reinforce commands that change it directly. I constantly receive orders from Daddy, and I command the entire earth and universe under his authority. I also have the power to evaporate people, places, and things, extinguishing their life force and returning it to source, which is how I eliminate dark forces and threats. Once someone is eliminated or evaporated, we also call that deleted, they're sent directly to source. Source, not me, is responsible for putting them in the correct punishment category, depending on how severe their crimes have been. Remember, too, that these beings may have perpetrated crimes on other planets throughout the universe, so that is also taken into account. It's not just what happened on Earth. One of the techniques that we use is to go back in time or to go to a specific event and change it. When that's done, the people don't even realize that it was done as their minds adapt to the current timeline. People don't realize that this technique has been used on them throughout their lives, as the dark forces use mechanical or created technology to change history and wipe out memories. We've continuously taken away many of the devices the Dark Ones have been using, including weather modification devices, various weapons, and their looking glass devices, which shows them the future allowing them to plan various strategies. A very important tool that we use is the increase of consciousness. This higher level of awareness is not only here on Earth, but universe wide. When Daddy deems it's time to lift the vibration, we hit it, and people often feel it in their bodies. As proof, you can check the measurements on the Schumann resonance scale, and you'll see the energy spiking at the time we've set the command in motion. And of course, we've seen this when Smarty's doing a video, he'll hit the energy, and then we see it on the Schumann at the same time. So it's kind of proof, right? Increasing the consciousness achieves many things simultaneously. As the vibration of the planet and universe rises, people see and understand more than they did before. Each time, the dark forces disappear as they aren't able to withstand a higher vibration. This pushes the dark forces out while opening the eyes and the minds of the people universe wide. People then are more able to use their abilities and see what's been happening, whether it's physically or etherically. You'll see more and more videos and news articles come out about the darkness that's being exposed. We've used this technique several hundreds of times to raise the level of consciousness in just the past couple of years. As Sananda Galactic, I operate across all dimensions simultaneously. I manipulate time and dimensional structures using portals, appear whenever needed, and travel astrally or physically depending on the situation. I remote view the universe and see actual futures rather than the altered ones. I use source energy to heal, remove implants, cure illnesses, restore body parts, and bring people back from the dead as approved. I do whatever is necessary to complete my mission of eliminating darkness and restoring Earth and humanity to beauty, love, and creativity. Many of the light forces and I have abilities that do not require technology like the dark forces do. As Supreme Commander, I lead millions of galactic and angelic armadas that follow Daddy's directives and help with universal cleanup. I can influence physical environments, neutralize chemtrails, redirect hurricanes, alter landscapes, and change my own biological features, including my blood type. I've proven these capabilities many times, even by remotely striking gas tanks to increase gas mileage and efficiency, or making the moon disappear. I can shift my appearance, and people around the world have seen me in my Sananda Galactic form with long hair, fiery eyes, and a tall, muscular physique. That's the one on the cover, guys. Sananda Galactic. I also grant wishes when Daddy permits. More abilities will fully come online soon and become visible to the public. I will eventually transition more permanently into my galactic form, ending my time in this biological body. This shift may be public and may be recorded. I will be able to manifest physical structures instantly, the way the Green Lantern character forms. Entire cities could be built within minutes. You've seen this ability disclosed on the movie Jupiter Ascending when they quickly rebuilt Chicago in just minutes. I'll oversee the release of new technology, crystalline chambers, replicators, and the consciousness powered devices. I will gain full access to global banks, take control of world infrastructure, and introduce teleportation delivery and free energy systems. Once I step onto the world stage, my authority will be seen and confirmed. Once Earth is free, many will be able to go into the universe and fight all of the darkness there. Everything I do is under Daddy's command. He is the one true God the source who created all things. He is the designer, the architect, and the origin of my being. Daddy appears as a golden white or yellowish white light, sometimes changing form. He can appear as both mom and dad because he formed all beings. He is everywhere and resides within the golden cube, a floating palace where everything in existence is created. He hears and responds to everyone across the universe all at once. Daddy is loving and does not cause fear or confusion. This is a big point. He has a huge sense of humor and often laughs with me as well as at me. He knows and controls everything. When he gives an order, it is carried out instantly. He is my father and I am his son, created directly through the golden cube. I am his representative on earth as well as through the entire universe. Nothing that we do for Daddy will be religious. That was never the intention for anything I've done. The dark forces felt they could turn my previous accomplishments and lessons into another way to build fear and obedience for the people creating religion. My understanding of Daddy unfolded gradually. My family was Christian, and being from a Hispanic background, we knew all about God, Jesus, and all of the Bible stories. Churches never really aligned with me. I talked to God as a child, who I now call Daddy, but I never prayed to Jesus. We know now that religions were created to control the people. The programming is very deep. Many of the stories in the Bible and other religious texts have been corrupted, presenting only part of the story. Many of the gods in the Bible were really extraterrestrial pranksters who controlled and took advantage of the people because they were able to use their abilities. All of that is being disclosed. Daddy is loving even toward the dark ones. He created everything and wants happiness, abundance, peace, and cooperation for all. Although he allowed darkness for a time, he has now reached the point of ending it. Daddy is directly involved in the liberation of Earth. The dark side cannot defeat him. My success is because of what I call the daddy factor. When he meets with me, he usually appears beside my right shoulder as a shining golden white light, although he could take any form. He has a strong sense of humor and laughs whenever I joke about quitting the mission, which I do about daily, or whenever I get frustrated. While religions describe him, many texts distort the truth. Daddy is not vengeful or destructive. Those stories refer to extraterrestrials who manipulated humanity. Daddy wants people to return to him and treat each other with love. He wants the earth to be clean, beautiful, and filled with creativity and kindness. How Daddy meets B and I. B and I meet and communicate with Daddy in various ways, often transcending physical limitations. The meetings are not scheduled like a corporate appointment. They happen instantly when needed. Most of our communication is direct and telepathic. B and I will talk on the phone, and it's like a three-way conversation that includes Daddy, where we discuss strategies and receive orders. This is our most frequent method of interaction, and we work all day long like this. And I've witnessed that. It's very cool. B and I will get individual messages and then work together to confirm and take appropriate action. We work and talk all the time, even during the night, to ensure everything is handled the way that Daddy wants. For more formal or significant meetings, B and I are brought to the Golden Cube. The Golden Cube is a place where everything is created. In this space, Daddy may create chairs and have us sit down for a discussion, similar to a physical meeting. It always varies. Sometimes our meetings are purely on a spirit or consciousness level. We don't see our physical bodies, but exist as orbs or energy of pure thought, floating and communicating directly with Daddy. Sometimes Daddy puts us through very unusual and sometimes humorous ways to get to meetings on other planets or realms. B and I had been flushed down giant toilets and sent through liquid-filled tubes to cleanse us before arriving at our destination. Genius. Think of this like a giant water slide that starts in a giant toilet. These journeys often end with us waking back up in our physical bodies on Earth. That just goes to show you Daddy's humor. Daddy and I are always in constant connection. The moment I wake up, I thank Daddy and ask about a few things I want to do, usually to take the dark ones out, and get my instructions. I don't need to engage in prayer or meditation or anything like that to connect with him. Because of who I am and my direct relationship as Daddy's son, the connection is constant and instantaneous. I can be driving, cooking, or in the middle of an interview, and Daddy will communicate and give me orders. At first, it was really hard for me, but now with so much practice, I can do many things at once. Stories and details about Daddy and the galactic beings. Daddy has a great sense of humor. He often makes fun of me for being slow compared to his own speed of thought. Whenever I get frustrated, I say, I quit, and Daddy laughs loudly. B and I join in too, as we know that none of us can quit, even if we wanted to. The humor and joking makes everything fun. Who else would create a giant toilet to transport us to a meeting? Who else would turn the dark entities contained in the stadium, a place where dark entities are sent to observe and not interact, into milk duds so they wouldn't get too comfortable? Going to talk a little bit about that more throughout the book. As I said, I was taking out dark entities before I officially met Daddy. When I eliminated the dark entities in England, I didn't yet know that it was him directed me, but it was. Actually, I went berserk on the reptilians a few times early on, and the results weren't pretty. I really messed them up, splatting them all over, chasing them through the underground tunnels and killing them all. And it was easy. I was really worried that I'd get into trouble for killing them, and I later learned that it was just part of my job. I know now that I don't have karma the way everyone else does, so I can eliminate the dark forces as directed. It's literally been part of my job. Removing the dark forces has been done gradually rather than all at once for various reasons. I prefer to take them all at once and get things moving, but I follow Daddy's guidance. Whenever a million armadas of angels are released, I receive a direct message from the head angel of one of the new groups. The angel affirmed that he sees and loves me and will do everything Daddy tells him to do to get the job done across the entire universe. This group also included newly activated fairies and elves. Oh, by the way, the fairies and elves are afraid of me. When I was first getting started, they were flying all around me in my face. I wasn't really paying attention at the time as I had just popped an entity right before I noticed them. So I had just eliminated them all. Source immediately reformed them. They said that hurts and have kept away from me. But I noticed that when they stop in on others, either here or on Earth, either here on Earth or throughout the universe, they'll say something like, be careful, that guy is the real deal. They haven't forgotten. A couple of times I've gone to various government meetings to ensure something gets done. I'll pop in and the people are frightened. They usually see me as a ball of light and don't know what to think. I start to give them the message, and the fairies and elves will pop up behind me and say, be careful, he is real and he is dangerous. Then the government officials are wondering who the fairies are in addition to me. If I eliminate someone in error like I've done before, Daddy immediately reforms them and brings them back so I don't have any worries about doing too much damage. Now that I'm here and activated, other groups and alliances throughout the universe are taking notice. Groups like the fairies, elves, and angels are actively assisting in the cleanup, along with selected galactic groups. The fairies have gone to various places through the universe to let everyone know that I'm for real. A lot of them now want to assist me as I freed them in the past. This includes a group led by the Greek god Zeus, who were previously not involved. He witnessed my power and abilities, deciding to join the light forces. Zeus contacted us as there was a lot of trouble on their planet. We took out more than half the entities there, and in exchange, they've come to Earth to assist us in taking out all of the darkness here. So, one of the stories he tells us is that a lot of these gods, or the one that is like appearing as God in the Bible, were nothing more than ETs with abilities that the humans, revered because of those abilities. Okay. There are a lot of dormant warrior universe. Oh, baby. There are a lot of dormant warriors universe wide who have come to help liberate Earth. The Four Kings is one group that I've sent to the Middle East. The Four Kings were in stasis in Antarctica. We restored their armies in this case. There are lots of other powerful beings waiting to be activated to help in the final cleanup of Earth. Years ago, when I was just getting started, the giants were awakened. They were down in Antarctica and were coming to terrorize the people on the surface. They were sent specifically to the United States and to Russia. I gave them all the frequencies of heart attacks, and the people of Earth didn't even realize that yet another issue had been averted. Details about the Galactic sting operation. I give all dark, individual, and corrupt officials a final chances to do the right thing. This is per Daddy's instructions, as I would have handled them right up front. When they don't believe me and fail to comply, many of them lost their lives or were cut off from their power and resources. You see politicians and corporate CEOs and officials stepping down like crazy. They're either gone as in evaporated gone, or their resources have been taken and they now live a much quieter life in obscurity. Sometimes they're replaced with actors in masks, androids, or clones, and sometimes they're recreated for the public by using CGI, computer generated imaging. Every time there's a consciousness upgrade, we expose more of the imposters. Anyone, including those who call themselves white hats, will be done if they are engaging in dark activities, dark actions, or going against Daddy's will. The cleanup applies to everyone. Nobody, universe wide, is immune. I teleport right in front of people so quickly they can't even see it. More evidence will come out showing my ability to teleport and appear right in front of people, do what needs to be done, heal, remove, destroy, and disappear without them fully realizing what happened. I've been doing this all around Earth, healing people, sometimes leaving them in tears from spontaneous healing. B is instrumental with his help as he'll pick up something or will receive a command that we'll work on together. If we're not physically in the same proximity, he'll call me immediately. For example, a command might be something like replace all the military forces with the appropriate angels to do what they're supposed to do. We often will replace someone in a key position with an angel, which changes their disposition and actions. When I look across these lifetimes, I can see how every version of me has been carrying out the same directive from Daddy, just in a different form. In the lifetime people remember as Jesus, my purpose was to show humanity what they were capable of, that they had the same power within them that I carried. Okay? That's really a big deal. Those teachings were meant to free people, not bind them. But the stories were twisted later by those who wanted control. Even though much of that history was rewritten, the real reason I was here never changed. I came to remind people of their own connection to Source, the same connection I lived from then and live from now. There is no intent to create a religion at all. In this lifetime as John Mendez, as I stepped into King Smarty, that purpose took on a different expression. The work became more direct, more hands-on, because the conditions on earth required it. I moved through this life eliminating dark entities, clearing interference, and carrying out the instructions Daddy gives me. The shift from John Mendez into King Smarty wasn't an evolution, it was an remembering, becoming aware of what I've always been and what I came here to finish. This lifetime is about correcting what was distorted, restoring truth where it was buried, and bringing back Earth back into alignment with Daddy's will. And beneath both of these lives is the truth of who I am in my full form. Sananda Galactic is the core identity, the being I have always been, the one Daddy made me directly. That form carries the memories of every incarnation, the knowledge of every mission, and the authority that comes from being created first. When I operate as Sananda Galactic, I am fully aware of the scale of what's happening across the universe. I see the timelines, the dimensions, the armadas, and the commands that shape all of existence. This is the level where everything connects. Jesus, King Smarty, John Mendez, Sananda Galactic, all part of the same consciousness, carrying out the same ongoing assignment. These lifetimes aren't separate chapters with different goals. They're one continuous mission that stretches across thousands of years and hundreds of dimensions. Jesus opened the way by teaching the truth. King Smarty clears the way by removing what stands against it. I love that. Sananda Galactic holds the authority and the memory that ties the entire mission together. Every form I've taken has been focused on the same outcome: removing darkness, restoring the original design, and bringing all beings back to Daddy. This is one mission expressed through many bodies, many names, and many moments in time, but it has always been the same purpose, and it is the purpose that I'm fulfilling now, to be completed now.